Cows usually consume 70% of their daily pasture intake in the first 2 hours of grazing, and another 10% after 4 hours, leaving plenty wasted in wet paddocks. This is where sound grazing strategies can reduce the risk of feed wastage and pugging damage, which in turn increases your farm profit with better input utilisation. In this video, we'll discuss strategies to help you with grazing when soils are saturated. Hi, I'm Oliver from Pasture-io. Let's tackle the question on everyone's mind: how to graze when soils are saturated. And remember, if you find this video interesting, don't forget to hit that thumbs up in support of our channel and tap that subscribe button and share it with your fellow farmers. Grazing on a case-by-case basis is a practical grazing technique deployed on farms during extended rainy periods. To choose when to graze pastures is a critical element here that will drive the success of your pasture management. I know this is easier said than done when your farm is set up for grazing 365 days of the year, but with some careful planning and consideration, you might just see why deploying a grazing strategy where you can choose on a case-by-case basis will build resilience into your farm system. If you want to graze when it's wet, follow these tips and you'll be maintaining your stocking rate well into the wetter months. First, you need to offer a tall, thick sward of grass, such as 3,000 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Doing this will ensure that your pasture is mature enough to deliver enough feed for your animals to consume. A healthy sward will also ensure your paddocks are somewhat resilient to pugging. Next, and just as important, is supplying a standoff area for your animals. This standoff area can be a feed pad, sacrifice paddock, or even a laneway. These areas are crucial for providing enough rest for your pasture to stop any overgrazing or further pugging damage. The idea is that your animals graze on a pasture for a short period, usually for about 2 to 4 hours, before moving to an area that can stand the stocking rate for the remainder of the day. This is the most crucial or most practical and successful grazing practice for most farms during lengthy wet periods. It means that your livestock get the best shot at filling their rumens while protecting your paddocks from pugging damage. For most farms, a sacrifice paddock is the most simple and cost-effective option. This should ideally be a paddock with better drained soils on higher elevation, run-down grassland in need of restoration, and far enough away from streams and, importantly, riparian zones. You can utilise laneways, but keep in mind that track maintenance is required and the potential for lameness. The gold standard is a feed pad where supplementary feed is provided with clean loafing areas. An alternative strategy that some farmers deploy is mixing up the feeding regime, whereby a larger area of pasture may be allocated during the day and a smaller area during the night, when animals may consume less or wander less given a shorter grazing period. Another strategy is to strip feed paddocks with temporary fencing. This involves using pigtail posts, otherwise known as standards, and polywire to erect fences in front of the herd and back fencing behind where the herd has grazed. By doing this, you can reduce the amount of roaming your herd does, which can reduce the wastage of pasture. The back fence promotes quicker and stronger plant growth. The best practice is to not let animals roam or graze over pasture that has previously been grazed. Your stocking rate and available supplementary feed drives the growth rate demand, and this should be matched against the supplied pasture growth rate. In other words, as pasture growth rates slow, so should your grazing rotation. Your grazing management should align both with your pre-grazing and leaf stage targets. We cover these calculators within the Pasture.io, so check them out. To put all of this another way, well-fed cows cause less pugging harm and perform efficiently. Feed supplements in the dairy, on the feed pad, or else if you're feeding in the paddocks, for example, lay out the feed before the cows come, and if you're giving little quantities, feed it via an electric wire. That's it from me. I'd love to hear how you handle grazing with saturated paddocks. Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the thumbs up in support of our channel. Tap that subscribe button and share it with your fellow farmers. Until next time, happy grazing.